That's Pez, who works on the film.
All right, here we go.
Sorry. My bad.
You guys were writing the movie, so I was wondering, how is the transition from going to working, I guess, as for British comedy to, I guess, like a American comedy?
Transition from British to American, sorry, yeah. I don't think, we have a really similar sense of humour, you know, what makes us laugh, makes you laugh, and well, pounds and dollars are different. We say pavement, you say sidewalk. I don't know, I mean, we're big fans of everyone that we got for this film, you know, Kristen and Bill and Jason and all those guys, we're big fans, what is it? Bit of matter, thanks. We love their stuff, and you know, we know that Sean and Hot Fuzz did okay over here, so you guys get our stuff, so there's no reason why we should all come together here and just, you know, make it become one, right? Yeah. That's that.
Right here.
Question for a side note. Last time I checked, I saw that you and Tom kidnapped Brad Bird.
Yes.
In order to, like, are you still holding hostage, or you gonna let him go at some point?
Brad Bird is still our hostage, yes. Will remain so for 6 more weeks. All right.
Somebody in the balcony? Yeah, right here in the front.
Nick! Yeah?
That?
Would you like some bacon-flavored chocolate?
I was just given the opportunity yesterday to eat that, and I didn't. Probably not. Have you really got? Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. If you want me to lose a foot at some point in my next 10 years, I can't do it. Thank you for the offer, though. Bacon fine, chocolate fine, bacon flavoured chocolate, not so good.
Alright, we're right down here.
Don't be greedy. Just have one. Let someone else have a go.
What I'm more interested in, what was it like to do the workflow? Like, what was the workflow like when you guys were shooting, as far as like with the animation element of it? You know, some Seth Rogen stuff.
The question was, what is it like to shoot without Seth Rogen there with an animated CGI character?
Do I have to answer that?
Yeah, you do.
When we were in pre-production, we went through the whole movie like a play. It was like summer stock. Seth was in a motion capture suit. He looked like a bike messenger. And he had a camera attached to his head that was on poles that shot back at his face that also made him look like Bob Dylan playing harmonica. So it was very distracting. And we just rehearsed the entire film and got a video reference of Seth, the animators and vocal stuff we could use in post-production. But Seth was going on to do Green Hornet, so when we shot, I asked Joe Latrulio to be the voice of Paul off camera so that Simon and Kristen would have someone who's fantastic and hilarious and a great improviser to act against, and I think that helped enormously. And Joe, you know, added a lot, but he did improvise lines, and then Seth went back and re-recorded them all. And, you know, it was just this back and forth thing that went on for about 2 decades.
It was amazing, by the way. He was there every single day. Knee pads.
It was amazing.
It was great, but other than that, sometimes we were acting with just like a pole or a tennis ball or nothing at all.
Yeah.
Or what? A child? Child is there. Let's go back to the balcony. Yeah, let's go back to the balcony. I see someone waving a Paul mask.
Was it part of your original story development to work in all the references to other sci-fi, or did that come later?
Kristen?
In the beginning.
We don't really work like that. They just come when they come. You know, our basic frame of reference is popular culture. So when we think, oh, that's a bit like that, it always inevitably comes from cinema. And we don't really set out to put any references, but really, we can't help but admit that this film is the child of many progenitors, and we just wanted to hold our hands up and say, yeah, you know, we've been influenced a lot, and give props to the films that inspired us and made us want to be filmmakers and made us love film. So, you know, they just come when they come, and it's very natural. We don't force it. You know, it's not like, I won't go there. Go on. I wasn't going to say Right. Is that not what I was going to say? I don't mean it's not like don't do it for the sake of it. It's not like something that's just sort of, you know, when we thought the voice could be a woman, and we immediately thought of Sigourney Weaver. As soon as we thought of her being a woman, because it was originally a man, it just seemed to make sense that when Tara, you know, so she said, "Get away from me, you bitch." It was like, you know, of course that fucking fits. It's brilliant. And it's not like we've got to get this line in somehow. It just happens. So that's how that works. So,
Right here.
So what were the biggest differences between the script before you went to production and the script as it was actually shot? I mean,
it's difficult to kind of, it evolves so much in terms of like, you get onto set and you start having to, change stuff for time or whatever, or you realise you get into the edit and you realise that you need to pace things up. And I mean, Paul had a couple of long speeches about sexuality and stuff, didn't he?
I think as Kristen was just pointing out to me in the script we originally wrote, Paul was a cat.
That's true. A cat. But we realised that we had to literally cut to the chase a lot of the time, and we were making a caper film, and not a sort of talking Tarantino picture where Paul would go on about the fact that, human beings are a bit uptight about sexuality and stuff. There's a lovely long speech about how everyone's bisexual on his planet, and humans are a bit silly because they get scared of, particularly men, because they don't like pink socks. And it just kind of went on and on and on. And it was a nice, we were very proud of it as a piece of writing, but it just, you got to move things forward. Greg? Help?
Yes.
I see it right back there in the middle, way to the mask.
hey, I was just wondering, could y'all talk a little bit about the decision to use just simply the name Paul as the title for the film, and is that going to be hard for marketing down the road?
I'm not sure about the marketing question. That's the first thing we thought of. When we had the initial idea with Nara Parker, producer there, we'll turn around and look at. We were kind of in a garden in North West London, it was raining a lot, and we would spit first name that we thought of. We just said Paul, and we laughed a lot, and that's usually quite a good sign. And it just stuck, I think for 24 hours, about 6 months into the writing process, we did consider calling him Fudge. But we laughed a lot, and then the next day we came in and said, let's not call him Fudge. I don't know, I think we were just eating some fudge, and we said, oh, fudge is funny, and then we laughed, and we said fudge, and it was like, oh yeah, fudge is pretty good. And then, I think if we call it Fudge, the marketing would have been a lot better, I think, to answer what it might be in the future, not the marketing as it is now, which is great. But yeah, it was the first thing we thought of, and it just stuck, and that's the end of it. Next time I tell this story, it'll have an ending. That's it. Yes, Glenn from Reuters.
Yeah, right there in the mask.
Matt, are you going to be doing any cake flushing while you're out?
I've kind of gone through my cake flushing phase, to be honest.
Flush with chocolate bacon.
I don't know if there's a toilet big enough in the world to cope with that chocolate bacon. But no, I'm not going to flush. I went through an odd phase of flushing birthday cakes. I'm over it now. I've recently flushed a 12-tiered wedding cake, which it's a different dynamic. But no, to answer your question, for 10 minutes it was called Fudge.
I think we've got time for 2 more questions. You're right here first.
Talk about getting the Steven Spielberg cameo.
It was his idea, actually, honestly. We were making Tintin, and we were on set, and we were hanging around him as we always did, like this. And, sorry. And I had a picture of, we did an actual road trip of the, do you think that's my cock? It's pretty accurate. It really is that thin.
It's like fruit leather.
Yeah. Whereas yours is short but very thick, isn't it? Like a beet cup, if you will. We compare a lot. We were on set and we had this picture of this alien bust. We took it. Greg Nicotero is a very, very accomplished special effects technician. he gave us this alien bust to take with us on our tour, which we photographed and sent pictures back to Nara, like that gnome in Amelie. And we kind of took a picture of him next to Devil's Tower, because we went to Devil's Tower, and I showed Steven Spielberg this picture, and he went, "What the fuck's that?" Because it was like the last time he'd seen an alien near Devil's Tower, it was in Close Encounters. He was like, "What?" And we explained to him that, "What?" We explained to him what it was, and we said, "Oh, we've got this idea that maybe you've had like Paul's ear for years and years, and you're like friends, and he calls you, and you call him and get ideas." And he went, "Oh my God, I like that." And he said, "Maybe I can be in the film and call up and be on the phone." And Nick and I went, "What?" Did you just say that?
I think that response, that when you see Paul come out of the darkness for the first time and Clive laughs, collapses, that's what we did when Steven Spielberg said he'd be in the film. We wanted to be in the film with him.
Yeah, so it was what do you think of it? That's an old joke, isn't it? It was his idea, and it just, you know, what could we say? No, thanks. No, I think so. I don't think you're right for the part.
A bunch of the world's biggest directors come and read for it. He was good.
He's got a bright future, that kid. And, good luck to him. He'll be alright. He'll be alright.
All right, South by Southwest, give us the best last question. Who's got it? Anybody? Yeah? Right here.
For Simon and Nick, a lot of the relationship between your characters and Paul is very much like space, and the comments is like a continuation of the lifelong nerdy comic book friends who just know each other.
I don't know if it's like, I mean, in space, Mike wasn't a comic book nerd, you know, he was like a sort of chimp who liked guns, you know, he was kind of like a sort of, you were like a gun monkey, weren't you, really, is what you were essentially. But a lot of what we do is based on our friendship, because we have been friends longer than we've been colleagues. We've known each other for 18 years. We work at the moment because it's the only way we can see each other, because our wives have moved us to separate ends of London. And, we had to figure out a way we can hang out. Let's make movies. But at the moment, what we've done so far has been underpinned by that deep love, isn't it, Nicky? Yeah. So that, and hopefully, and now we've got a new deep love, haven't we, Kristen? Yeah. So, you know, hang in there, and in a few years, with a bit of luck, if we do okay next week, then maybe you'll see Paul's.